Hello and welcome to Before the Heights on the SEC Network. We're at Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia as the Bulldogs host the number 3 ranked Florida Gators. Hello everyone, I'm John Roethlisberger, joined once again by Alicia Quinn, Olympian world champion. Alicia, Florida comes in as the number 3 ranked team. Georgia, they got off to a bit of a slow start this season. What can we expect?
Last week, Florida had a fantastic showing. It wasn't their best, but they had moments of perfection, starting on vault with Trinity Thomas's 10.0. Made that vault look absolutely effortless and nailed that landing. They needed to build some momentum going into the last rotation, and Nia Reed did that for them. She put up her first 10 of her career on the floor exercise, just to be followed by her teammate, Trinity Thomas, putting up another 10.0 to edge out the Crimson Tide in a narrow victory for the Gators, but they did what they needed to do to finish it up. Last week, Georgia unfortunately did not have a competition on their schedule due to COVID protocols. They have had to miss the last 2 meets, so they are looking to get back in the swing of competing here tonight.
Yeah, you can see that opener 194.5 against number 1 team in the country, Michigan, and that's not how the Georgia Bulldogs like to get things going. They got things smoothed out a little bit this week. We had a chance to talk to Courtney Capets-Carter, the coach there, about her season, and it's been an up and down one, to say the least. Wouldn't you agree, Alicia?
Definitely. I think it's very hard physically and mentally to take that much time off from your opening meet and then having 2 meets that you have to move, and then to be here tonight and be confident in the gymnastics you're putting out. They just got back in the gym Monday, so lineups were questionable. I'm sure these athletes are excited to compete again, but there's a little bit of hesitation there for sure.
Yeah, you kind of get this idea of what your season's going to be like leading up to it as we see Nia Reed, the newest member of the 10.0 club. And there's Trinity Thomas. She completed the gym slam. Those 2 are the ones you want to watch for. But you have an idea of what your season's going to be like, and then it's kind of tossed up, and you got to readjust. So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk J&A Academy. We're going to talk about those missed meets and how it can affect the team. And we're also going to sit down with that amazing gymnast, Nia Reed, talk about her 10.0. Alicia had a chance to interview her. And then, of course, we're going to go around the SEC and talk about some of these great teams in the epicenter of women's gymnastics, the SEC, and also some of the Gymnasts of the Week and their awards. And then right after us, a great one, number 9 Kentucky, number 10 Alabama. Alex Perlman, Sam Peshek will have the call for that one, and we'll talk about that meet a little bit, and also hopefully you will stick around to watch it. I'll be running to my couch for sure, turn that one on. The lineups for these 2 teams, Florida Gators, Georgia Bulldogs, here's what they look like on each event. Coming up, number 3 Florida visits the University of Georgia next on the SEC Network. Hello and welcome to Friday Night Heights. We are at Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia as the Bulldogs host the number 3 ranked Florida Gators. Hello, I'm John Roethlisberger, joined once again by world champion and Olympian Alicia Quinn. Alicia, Florida comes in at number 3. Georgia, to say the least, has a slow start to their season. What can we expect?
Last week, Florida didn't necessarily have their best showing, but there were moments of perfection, which started on vault with Trinity Thomas nailing a beautiful Yurchenko 1.5, making it look absolutely effortless. Going into the last rotation, Florida needed some momentum, and Nia Reed started that with a perfect 10, the first one of her career, and why not follow it up with another 10? Trinity Thomas going back-to-back 10.0s for the Florida Gators to edge out the Crimson Tide last week. And then we have Georgia Gym Dogs, who are literally trying to build some momentum. They had 2 weeks off, so physically and mentally, that is a very tough thing to overcome. These athletes need to be focused. They were just back in the gym on Monday, trying to work into lineups, so this will be a tough competition for them, but I think it's good for them to get that rust off.
Yeah, head coach Courtney Capets-Carter, we talked to her this week, and this has been a season like no other, which is the most obvious statement to make. But we've seen some great gymnastics, but it's also been a challenge with all these COVID delays and postponements.
Gymnastics is not a event that you can take time off where it just bounce right back in. So you're used to being in the gym every day, being consistent. So having to break your stride is a little bit difficult, and it can affect these teams greatly.
We're going to talk a little bit about that more later in the competition. The home team, the Georgia Gym Dogs, as Alicia mentioned, trying to get some momentum, trying to get something to build on. They've had 2 weeks, or two meets rather, that they've had to miss. So trying to get things on track here in only their second meet of the competition, as we see their lineup, a upper class laden lineup for the Georgia Bulldogs. All seniors, but just one junior. Amanda Cashman will lead things off for them on this event. But they only have one underclassman competing in their whole roster tonight, and that certainly bodes well for experience, but you like to have some more contribution from those underclassmen, right, Alicia?
I think it's definitely better to bank on the experience, but I know freshmen are probably looking to work their way in, but like I said, having that time off probably impacted them more than it did the upperclassmen.
Here we go with Amanda Cashman, the junior from Belmead, North New Jersey.
Amanda opening up with a nice Yurchenko full. Pikes those hip down on the landing, causing her to take that step, but a strong lead-off vault for the Gym Dogs. The round-off entry onto the board, the back handspring on the table, and just that step on the landing.
The Georgia Gym Dogs are not going to have the 10-0 vault in their vault rotation that you'll see from the Florida Gators, so they're going to have to be really clean, good landings. Now, the number 3 team in the country, the Gators, will start off on bars, and this is Sloan Blakely, the freshman from Frisco, Texas.
Sloan opens up with a shakosh to pack salto. Looking to move between the bars, hit all her requirements. Sloan's back on the high bar. Toe to blind change. Double front dismount, and sticks that landing. You are allowed to slide those heels together without a deduction, so that will count as a stick. This is a blind landing, 2 flips forward, and she rocked it.
Nice start for the Gators. You can see head coach Jenny Rowland right there with some hugs all around for that one. Here is what the gymnastics rules look like for collegiate gymnastics. 6 gymnasts compete per event. They count the 5 best scores. So that means if a team does have a mistake, they can drop that score. They add up the total of those 5 scores per event. That is your team total. Highest score wins. Home team, obviously, as we can see, Georgia starting on vault. They go Olympic order and end on floor. And the visiting team has to start on bars, but most importantly, end on the balance beam. Now, senior from League City, Texas, Michaela McGee.
Very clean, Yurchenko 1.5. Small step on that landing. That is a 10.0 start value. And now Georgia doesn't have a ton of those in their lineup, but Michaela did a very good job. Good distance from the table. Just that small step. Nice clean form. I love that her legs are glued together, toes are pointed. Very nice for the gym dogs.
And right away, putting that 10-0 up in the second position for Georgia. That's big. Amanda Cashman started with a 9.8. Score will definitely build with that second vault. Sloan Blakely a 9.825, and now Megan Skaggs, the super senior, here in her 5th year for the Gators.
Beautiful connection, moving from high to low. Nice packed salto between the bars. Beautiful handstand on the high bar. Double layout dismount, and she sticks that landing. A very clean, well done routine for Megan Skaggs.
Wow, what a start.
This release combination is absolutely beautiful. A nice Takacha, very big over the bar to immediate pack salto. Bonus points for connecting those two skills together. Fantastic routine.
2 for 2 on the stuck landings. Now back over to vault. Rachel Bauman, the senior. There's talk of whether she would do a 1.5. That would be a big move for the Bulldogs here. If she did the 1.5 and did the 10-0 start value, we'll see.
Watered it down with a full. Big step on that landing, or hop, I should say. She just had too much power. When you're used to doing the 1.5, sometimes it's harder to do the easier vault and control the landing as well. The nice Yurchenko entry. Leg separation as her feet leave the board to go to the table, but the judges can't see it the way we can in slow motion.
Michaela McGee right before her, a 9.9. Riley McCusker will be the next gymnast to go. She is an exceptional elite, had an exceptional elite career. Competed at the Olympic trials, was part of a world team gold medal in 2018. Almost made that Olympic team in Tokyo. Bit of a heartbreak for her, but this is really where she excels, the uneven bars.
Opens up with a shaposh to pack salto. Showcasing that handstand. Back up to the high bar with the Holkina. Eagle grip. Showcasing that shoulder flexibility. Double front half. Low chest on that landing. Very, very difficult dismount. I love the routine composition. It was packed full of difficulty. You see here that nice transition from low to high. Great form, hitting that handstand. And this dismount, very hard, double front half. Just that low landing with her, wasn't ready for that mat to hit her under the feet, but very nice routine.
Abby Ward, senior from Winter Garden, Florida, follows Rachel Bauman's 9.725.
Souk full, small hop in that landing. Decent distance from the vault. Not the type of vault you typically see all the time. You're used to seeing Yurchenko, so it's a half on with a layout with a full twist. Like just tighter body in the backside of that vault to land with her chest up, but I like seeing a mix up of the type of vaults we see.
Megan Skaggs in the 2 spot for Florida got a 9.9. That is her season high early in this season, obviously. Savannah Shane-Hare, the senior, the next gymnast to go. Last time out versus Alabama, 9.825. What are the judges looking for, Alicia?
So on uneven bars, obviously the most typical thing is judges want to see you hit those handstands. They want to see release moves, moving from high to low, low to high. And lastly, they want good form. You don't want deductions for having leg separation, bent legs, all those little things that can add up. Hitting that handstand on the high bar. Toe to blind change. Big Jaeger on the high bar. Toe handstand. Shoot over handstand. Very clean lines, great toe point. Very quick bar worker, double front half with room to spare. Small hop in that landing, but great routine.
Savannah's an All-American on this event, also a junior national champion on this event.
She moves very quick. That Jaeger whips around, and same thing with the blind change to the double front half. She was so high. If she opened up just a little bit later, she would have been able to probably control that landing just a little bit better.
So still waiting for Abby Ward's score. Actually, it's just in 9.825. Rachel Baumann a 9.725. And now here's senior Rachel Lucas.
Rachel is able to do a 1.5, and she does it. We talked to Coach Kupes Carter on the phone today, and she goes, we're just going to do the full, but she surprised us with that 1.5. The entry onto the table. Little bit of leg separation. Her legs bend, anticipating the mat for the landing. That will be a little bit of a deduction, but I love a good 10.0 start value on vault.
You can see that tape foot. That's one thing that Coach Carter has said that she's been managing, so that's one reason we thought we're going to see the full, but she delivers in a big spot against the number 3 ranked team in the country right when they need it. Trinity Thomas, one of the best gymnasts in the entire country in the all-around, has yet to compete the all-around yet this season. Coach Jenny Rowland said she's really trying to pace her team. They've got a lot of talent, but they need to be healthy. Savannah Shane here, a 9.8 for her routine.
Trinity opens up with a big shaposh. Beautiful pack salto.
There are your scores so far. Keep in mind they can drop their lowest, which right now would be one of those 9.8s.
Trinity's done a great routine so far. It ends with a double AO and sticks it.
Wow.
I don't know where there's going to be any deductions for that, John. That was a fantastic bar set.
You know, it looked like one handstand. Maybe was a little shy of vertical, but this double layout, no one does it better. Look at the hands.
It's beautiful. Nice tight body position. Her second flip starts above the high bar.
Just a 9.75 in her last outing on an uneven bar. Certainly that one will be significantly higher. Now, the last gymnast to go for Georgia on the vault, Megan Roberts.
On vault, this is what the judges are looking for. You have to have a 10.0 start value because not all vaults are created equal. You need to have amplitude and you need to have good air awareness. You need to know where you are so you can be able to stick your landing like Megan was almost able to do.
So trying to shut us up about those 10.0 vaults. They finished with 2 of them right here.
It was a good vault for Megan. She anchored the team in her first meet of the season and got a 9.9. There was a little bit of loose legs before her feet hit the floor, but that was a good vault for them.
Rachel Lucas right before her, just a 9.775 for her 10.0 vault. Trinity Thomas, almost perfection, 9.975 for her. One judge gave her a 10. The other one must have seen that half tenth that I saw on the handstand. Alicia, what do you think?
I didn't see the handstand deduction, but I'll believe you that it was there. But that was a really nice bar set. I can't get over how beautiful it was.
Now the last gymnast to go, freshman. She is the world all-around silver medalist from this past year, Leanne Wong.
Leanne,
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying what I love about her gymnastics is she's so clean. Her lines are so elegant. She makes everything she does look effortless.
If she can finish this clean, they will drop one of those 2 9.8s. They're gonna.
There's no doubt they're dropping one of those 9.8s. That bar routine was sensational. Ended the routine with that beautiful double layout. Legs glued together, toes pointed.
Megan Roberts on vault. She finishes for Georgia with a 9.925. Leanne Wong is probably going to be very close to that. What a great start to this dual meet. When we come back, the J&A Academy is going to look at the effects of these missed or canceled or postponed meets and how it can affect the season. J&A Academy, we're going to talk about the effects of missed or postponed competitions and how that can impact a team's journey through the season. Alicia, just this week across the country, according to College Gym News, there's been 7 competitions impacted by these COVID protocols. In the SEC, there's been 5 competitions impacted by these protocols just this season. And we take a look at those events right here. LSU really getting the brunt of most of those. Some of them, they had another team come in and replace a team that couldn't go. You can see the West Virginia LSU meet in particular. They had Centenary come in, but they've had some team meets canceled. How does this affect a team's ability to peak as they get closer to the end of the year?
it's hard for a team to build momentum when you're losing competitions. And one of the things that's going to be impacted the most is NQS. So you need 6 competitions to be able to get your NQS score. You drop their highest, you average the remaining 5. So if a team doesn't get all their competitions in, they may not be ranked in the way that other teams are. So it may not be an accurate portrayal of who's in the running for postseason. Another way this impacts this season is coaches. Coaches plan the whole year in advance. And now they're going from a whole year, it was month to month, it was week to week. Now it's basically day to day for these coaches. They don't know what athlete's going to be healthy, if they have a full lineup or not. So they need to be really flexible and show that they can adapt. And I think one of the biggest things is athletes are now not going to be able to rest and recover like they were originally planning on as the postseason approaches. They're going to be cramming in meets to try to get their full slate of competitions. And, you know, that can make it harder for an athlete to adjust.
Georgia versus Kentucky, you can see head coach Courtney Carter there has been rescheduled for February 4th. It's now a tri-meet with Central Michigan. So it is a very fluid situation all across collegiate athletics, really, but certainly here in women's gymnastics as well. After one rotation, Florida with about a 2.5-tenth lead over the home team, the Georgia Bulldogs, but it's tight. It's going to be interesting as we head into the second rotation. And in that second rotation, Florida goes to vault. Trinity Thomas, she's gotten a 10 just last weekend on this event. Can she do it again? Meanwhile, the Georgia Bulldogs, their senior Emily Schild will lead the way as they go to their second rotation. Right after the first rotation, Florida by 0.25 over the Georgia Gym Dogs. You can see that score for Leanne Wong. The last routine of that first rotation, a 9.975 for her. One judge gave her a 10. Now Florida moves to the vault. They'll be led off by Bree Edwards. She's a freshman from Navarre, Florida, in Gulf Coast Gymnastics. Shout out to Chris Hood in Gulf Coast Gymnastics. Got to be happy seeing her on television.
You get 30 seconds once a judge salutes you, so you can collect yourself, take your last breath, and then make your way to the event. Really big Yurchenko full for Bree Edwards. Hop on that landing, but just shows she has a lot of extra power, which is not a bad thing. Good form onto the table, toes pointed, legs together. Clean first vault for the Gators.
Amanda Cashman led things off on the vault for Georgia. She's going to do the same thing here on the uneven bars.
Amanda mounts up onto the high bar. Opens up with a Tkachev. Bail handstand, small leg separation as her hands hit the bar.
They're going to need to stick these landings.
Which she did.
That is going to be a big factor for Georgia tonight. They might not have some of the big guns that Florida has, but if they can do the little things like sticking landings, they can keep this close.
Hitting that release move. And you see the coach standing next to the bar. As long as the coach doesn't touch the athlete, there is no deduction for him being there.
Megan Skaggs, it is early in the season, but as of right now, she is the 9th ranked all-arounder in the country out of Marietta, Georgia, in the Gymnastics Academy of Atlanta.
Making her way down the runway. Huge Yurchenko full, kicks it out in the end, had so much time in the air. Small hop in that landing, but that was a big Yurchenko full.
Jenny Rowland mentioned to us she has some Yurchenko fulls that she doesn't feel like she needs to push to 1.5 because they are so big, like this one in particular.
So her Yurchenko full starts from a 9.95, so you're not that much lower than a 10, but yes, at the end of the postseason, you want to have a roster full of 10.0 start values because that's where you can differentiate yourself from other teams.
Bree Edwards with a 9.725 to start off Florida's vault rotation. Now Abby Ward, the next gymnast to go here on the uneven bars for Georgia. She got a 9.825 on vault in the last rotation.
Abby was originally not in Georgia's bar lineup, but since they were lacking depth, started working the event nonstop and worked her way into the lineup. Hitting the handstand on the high bar, building momentum for the dismount. Double A, small hop on that landing. She'll definitely be happy with that routine.
Abby had a rough outing in the last meet, just a 9.225 for bar. Certainly going to be significantly better there. There's the three-time SEC Coach of the Year, Jenny Rowland. Still looking for her first national title at Florida. Has done a great job, though. Now Savannah Shane here, the third gymnast to go for Florida on vault.
Big 1.5, small hop on that landing. The Florida coaching staff loves it. They all jumped up when she hit the ground.
Megan Skaggs right before her, a 9.875 for that beautiful Yurchenko full.
The round off onto the board. Nice tight legs, only slightly bends her knees right before her feet touch the landing mat.
I love the coaches all surrounding the landing mat and just jumping up like their own personal cheering section. Katie Finnegan, the sophomore, next to go on the uneven bars. She's had a tough fall, dealing with a lot of different sickness, flu, strep throat, and just hasn't gotten that momentum, and the fatigue has really been an issue for her. Hopefully getting things going here as we get close to February in the season.
Big release move on the high bar, opening up with a ray. Toe handstand, pack salto. So far, so good for Katie. This is the type of bar routine she's been working towards. If she can stick the landing, just the small hop. She may have been struggling so far, but that was a good routine for her here tonight. The two giants into the full twisting double back. Just moves her feet ever so slightly. She was really fighting for that stick.
Now senior Nia Reed, the next gymnast to go for Florida on vault. Savannah Shane here, a 9.875 for her 1.5.
Nia is a very dynamic vaulter and can get a 10.0 if she sticks it.
Ooh, do you give it? Is that a stick?
I mean, that was a nice vault. Let's see it from another angle because the coaches were blocking it just a bit. Nope, no stick. I loved it, and it was so nice, but she does move her feet ever so slightly forward.
It's going to be a big number nonetheless. Again, some great scores so far for Florida on vault. Their lowest, a 9.725, so that's the one they're trying to drop. The fourth gymnast to go now for Georgia on the bars, Haley DeYoung. 9.875 for Katie Finnegan, so scores building here for Georgia as well.
Haley bounce up onto the high bar. Toe handstand to Ray. Catches a little bit close. Ideally, you want to have more distance away from the bar and catch with an extended arms out, not with bent arms. Working on correcting her mistakes. Haley's back up on the high bar. Double A dismount. Fights to finish through the end. Had a few mistakes here and there through this bar set, but nothing that's too major that would count as a fall. But there were form breaks, and there were just mishaps where she was supposed to get her feet on the bar. It had to extend for a kip, but didn't let that phase her and finished the routine very nicely.
Almost gets that stuck landing at the end. Nia Reed score a 9.95. Now the freshman Leanne Wong. Last week put up a 9.725 on this vault.
Round off half on pike. Oh! Woo-hoo! That was a definite stick.
Now with Nia Reed putting up a 9.95 with that small little movement on the landing, what do the judges do here? Well, that was absolutely a dart.
That was amazing. If I'm gonna be critical, because it's my job, she did have her chest low on that landing. So if the judges are being stingy, they're gonna hit her with a deduction with that.
I'm giving her a 10. You can take your low chest on the landing, Alicia. I'm giving her a 10.
I want to give her a 10. I want to throw a 10 as much as you do.
Emily Schild, the senior from Huntersville, North Carolina now, the 5th gymnast to go for Georgia. The lowest score coming into Haley DeYoung's routine was a 9.775. Alicia, you mentioned it. There were some moments in Haley DeYoung's routine where it looked like she was supposed to go the opposite direction on the low bar, had to cover up. The question is, what are the judges going to do with that? And they do hit her a 9.625. So now that is the score that Georgia is going to want to drop. They have 2 gymnasts yet to go. Man, scores were building for them. They were in a position where they could keep this close with the Gators after 2 rotations. Now they're really got some pressure on Schild and Roberts.
Bounce up onto the high bar. Toe handstand. To Ray. Nice form on the catch. Bale a little bit loose as when she hits that handstand. Working her way to finish this routine. Nice double layout for Emily. Small step on that landing. You know, it's not going to be a 10.0, but it was a good routine where there weren't any major form breaks. But I know she's done a better bar set than this, and I think it should score well, but it's not going to be what she was hoping for. That dismount right there, piking in the hips, causing her to make that step forward.
One more to go for Georgia and one more for Florida as well. Here's Trinity Thomas.
Yurchenko 1.5. Squats pretty low on that landing. I think Trinity was going for the stick a little too aggressively and just was soft on the landing.
She was perfect last week, and sometimes when you're perfect one week, you almost want to do it again and maybe try a little bit too hard. Leanne Wong, you were right, I was wrong. 9.825 for her vault. Obviously, I was thinking it would be higher, but still nonetheless a career high for her so far in her young collegiate career. Wait for Trinity Thomas's score, and now Megan Roberts will be the last gymnast to go on bars for Georgia. Emily Schild at 9.775. So again, the low score for Georgia right now, a 9.625. If Megan can hit, they will drop that number.
Nice shaposh to Bale handstand. Nice clean form. Back up on the high bar. Double A dismount, and she sticks it. That was awesome.
Megan Roberts, a 2016 Olympic team alternate for Team Canada. Outstanding elite gymnast, and man, they needed that one. Wow, what a great first 2 rotations, some outstanding gymnastics. Florida and Georgia both came to play. When we come back, Alicia Quinn sat down with the newest member of the 10-0 club, Nia Reed. We'll hear what she had to say.
I am here with the talented and, dare I say, perfect Nia Reed. Nia, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that may have missed it, last week, Nia became part of the 10.0 club. She performed a fantastic floor routine. Tell us what was going through your mind during the routine and after waiting on the score.
So right before I went on floor, I really thought about, what happened last weekend. I kind of overdid it just a little bit, just little crazy landings here and there. So I just had a conversation with myself before I actually stepped on the floor, and I was like, hey, you know you can do this. And my first tumbling pass, I slowed the run down just a little bit, and it felt good. The landing felt good, and I was like, hey, just 2 more landings. That's all you got to do. My second pass, I landed it well. Took a deep breath before my third pass, and I landed, and I was like just talking myself through it. I was like, yes, keep going, keep pushing, you got this. By my last tumbling pass, I was like, there it is, I did it.
it is clear as day. Your team is very close. Can you tell us a little bit about your team dynamic?
Without those girls, I don't know what I would be able to do at them. Every time I come into the gym, they know what my goal is and they know how hard I want it. And I tell you, every single one of them, they push me to accomplish that goal. I think it was so emotional because they knew how hard I really wanted my 10 and they knew I've been working so hard for it. To see some of them crying for me and some of my coaches having that emotion too, it meant so much to me.
We're gonna do a few would you rathers, but it's gonna be perfection edition. So you'll have to tell me, would you rather have a year of perfect grades or a perfect gymnastics season?
Ooh, I would say perfect grades, for sure.
Girl, so good. Your mom would be so proud. Okay, would you rather the perfect outfit or the perfect pair of shoes?
Oh no, the perfect outfit, of course.
Would you rather the perfect dinner or the perfect dessert?
Perfect dinner.
Naya, thank you so much and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much. Go Gators.
What a great personality and a great athlete, but I do have to disagree. The perfect dinner is a perfect dessert. Naya, that's where we'll have to agree to disagree. Three-time All-American. I think the stat that I love is a 9.925 or better on her last 15 Florida teams. Try to do that. That is an impressive run of outstanding performances for Naya Reid. Get a chance to see her and the Florida Gators on floor exercise next. The Florida with a 4-10 lead over Georgia. It's a close meet. This is still up in the air. Florida getting a run from the home team, the Georgia Gym Dogs. They go to the balance beam. Haley DeYoung trying to help close that 4-10 gap. Meanwhile, on floor exercise, Naya Reid and the Gators. Can Naya Reid be perfect again? We'll find out. Right after us, number 9 Kentucky visits number 10 Alabama. Raina Worley, the SEC Gymnast of the Week for that outstanding 39.65 she put up in the all-around in their season opener. Stick around for that one. That'll be great matchup between those two squads. We got a good one here at Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia. The home team 4/10 behind the number 3 team in the country, the Florida Gators. It was .25 after one. Trinity Thomas, Leanne Wong putting up some big numbers on bars. And Naya Reid doing what she does on the vault, and that's where we are at as we head into this third rotation. And Michaela McGee, senior from League City, Texas, and Pearland Elite Gymnastics, leads things off.
Michaela getting ready for her acro series. Back handspring, layout, step out. Just the smallest of balance checks.
So a 4/10 lead for Florida heading into the third of 4 rotations. That means that's a decent lead, but not insurmountable. But Georgia has got to really hit some big numbers. You got to assume Florida's going to put up big points. Georgia has got to almost be perfect.
Closing at the beam routine. Nice dismount, a round off 1.5 twist. Unfortunately does take a step on that landing, just has a little too much juice. The round off with the layout 1.5, opens up. If she just had her arm open up a little bit sooner, she would have been able to anticipate that landing better.
Great look at the beam though, and how narrow it is as they tumble off of that. Now Florida on floor exercise will be led off by Leah Clapper. I want to do a quick commentary cleanup. We've had some roster lineup changes for Florida in this competition in their uneven bars. Chloe Clark, actually vault, excuse me, with Chloe Clark led off, not Bree Edwards. So apologies to her.
Leah opening up with a front 1.5 twist to double stag jump. You may be wondering why athletes jump after their tumbling passes. One, it helps if you have a little bit too much power to help control that. Two, it is bonus points if you connect a dance element with an acro element. Leah's second pass, round off 1.5 front layout to stag jump. Switch side straddle full. Last tumbling pass for Leah. Double pike. A little bit too much power on that landing, causing her to step back and lift her foot up. Opened up with that nice Rudy to jump. The 1.5 front layout to jump. If you're used to having to stick landings, adding a jump really is a nice way to cover up if you have too much power.
The only underclassman for competing for Georgia tonight is Sarah Cohen. She is a freshman from Hills Gymnastics. This is her collegiate debut. Oh!
And an unfortunate fall in her acro series, which was a back handspring layout step out. On balance beam, judges are looking for confidence. They know if you're not trusting in your skills, you have to have good connections and you need to showcase your flexibility.
So any margin for error for Georgia now on balance beam is gone. 6 routines go. They have to count 5 scores. This will absolutely be the one that they will want to drop with that fall.
Aerial to split jump. You see her shoulder dip. When something like that happens, it's literally a bobble, a balance check, and especially when she wants to connect those two skills, that will break the connection if it's too long of a pause. Finished the routine fantastic with a round off double full and sticks that landing. Unfortunate fall in the middle of the routine though.
Sunday, the 11th annual We Back Pat Week continues as number 23 Kentucky hosts Ole Miss at noon Eastern time. Then number 5 Tennessee takes on number 13 Georgia at 2 p.m. Catch all the action here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. One of the lineup changes for Florida involved Ellie Lazari. She was injured in the warm-up. She was supposed to compete on the floor exercise and was originally supposed to be the second gymnast to go. Instead, that bumps up Megan Skaggs into the second spot, and Hallie Taylor will be the anchor for the Gators in this rotation.
Megan opens up with the front 1.5 to double stack jump. Beautiful jump connection. What I love about Megan is she is such a great performer. Really shows off her choreography, gets her face involved, and has, not only that, not can she perform, she has fantastic tumbling. Round off 1.5 front layout. Absolutely perfect on that tumbling pass.
Leah Clapper led off for the Gators on floor with a 9.8. Gators asking for a 10. It was pretty darn good.
Great connection passes, perfect form. It's hard to pass that up. The team loved it, she loved it, I loved it. I think it deserves a 10.
Georgia on balance being led off with a 9.825 from Michaela McGee. Sarah Cohen, unfortunately, with that fall, just a 9.15. Now, Emily Schild, the senior from Huntersville, North Carolina, and Everest Gymnastics is the third gymnast to go. That 9.15, a score they want to drop, but more importantly, they really need to start scoring 9 plus if they're going to catch the Gators.
Emily front aerial to back handspring, back handspring. unfortunate fall for her. We talked about how this team just got back into the gym on Monday, so they had to cram in a bunch of preparation for this meet tonight. So it's not surprising that we have these mistakes. It's about getting back in the groove, getting your endurance back, getting your confidence back after having so many weeks off.
I love seeing senior Rachel Lucas come over and give her some words of encouragement before she got back up.
This part of balance beam is the most mental, not making any further mistakes after having a fall. Cat jump, aerial, back full, small hop, and that landed. Finished the routine well. Unfortunate mistake in the middle, but like we said, Georgia's just getting back in the swing of things. Cat jump to that aerial, back full dismount. Nice form in the air.
So unfortunate for the Georgia Bulldogs. They will count a miss on the balance beam. Now it's up to Florida to just stay on their feet. Sloan Blakely, the next gymnast to go. Megan Skaggs, just a 9.875 for her floor team. A lot of people thought that might be higher.
Sloan opening up with a big Arabian double front. It is a blind landing. She did look like her landing, she stepped out of bounds. No judge put up a flag, so I'll be interested to see how this scores. Switch ring to switch half. Sloan's second tumbling pass. Double tuck, much more solid on that landing. On floor exercise, judges are looking at your artistry, how well you perform in dance, your level of difficulty in your routines. Are you throwing those big skills, and how well you control your landings? Sloan's last tumbling pass. Round off 1.5 front layout. Beautifully done.
Sloan was also an outstanding elite gymnast, but as a level 10, she went to the JO Nationals and won the all-around in every single event.
Nice big double tuck was her Sloan's second tumbling pass. Controlling that much better. Close out the routine with a nice connection pass of a 1.5 front lay.
Gymnast that is just a ton of fun to watch, Soraya Hawthorne. She's a junior from Memphis, Tennessee, is the next gymnast to go on beam. Now, Georgia already has a 9.15 and a 9.125, so they are now trying to drop that 9.125. They are going to have to count a miss, as we mentioned. Oh.
Unfortunate fall on Soraya's back handspring layout step out. Balance beam's a tough event. Once someone falls, and there's been multiple falls, you can't let it be contagious. The rest of this squad needs to stay focused and really just do what they do in the gym, because their coaches say they see moments of greatness. It just needs to transfer over to competition day.
And they have been out of competition for 2 meets that were on their schedule, and they started their first meet. It was a rough start, but they had some challenges in that meet as well with their lineups. Certainly looked like they were going to get things right here, but man, the balance beam has just been a massive obstacle for them today.
Round off 1.5, sixth at landing. Had that mistake in the middle, but finished the routine strong. Didn't give much else to the judges to deduct.
Courtney Capets-Carter talked about her team and said the upside, the best end of this team, their best could be in the top 10 in the country, but their average is not good enough. They have to really be at their best, especially when you're going against a team like the Florida Gators. Sloan Blakely, a 9.725 for her floor team. Now, Alyssa Bauman, sister of Georgia gym dog Rachel Bauman. She is a super senior here for Florida, mounts the floor exercise.
This will actually be the last battle of the Bauman sisters. They have a bunch of family in town watching them, supporting them. Alyssa opening up her floor routine with a round off 1.5 punch front full. Covers up the lack of control on the landing with some dance, which I love. Beautiful leap collection. Alyssa has always had the most dynamic leaps and jumps that showcase her flexibility. Double pike, and she nails that landing. The Bauman family rooting on their daughters.
You can see the split t-shirt there. Yeah, you can see the split shirt. Half Georgia, half Florida on mom right there. Gotta love it.
Ending that double pike. Dad loves it, mom loves it. Mom doing the gator chop. Has to be stressful to be a parent for one of these athletes.
Now trying to stop the bleeding for Georgia's Haley DeYoung, the 5th gymnast to go here. She is the junior. You can see the scores on the right, 9-3 for Soraya Hawthorne.
Haley showcasing a nice switch leap split jump. Front aerial to straddle jump. Big smile after completing that.
This is a gymnast that could do all around for Georgia, and somebody that Georgia's really going to need to perform potentially on all 4 events and perform well if they're going to be successful this season.
Beam acro series are nobody's friend today, unfortunately, for the Georgia Gym Dogs. Just didn't have enough.
Put a level on that beam. Is that thing level? What's going on?
She lacked some height on that second skill where her leg was bent as she was coming to land. So maybe the lack of endurance from competing or in training has really caught up with them on this event.
You talked about it, Alicia. In the sport of gymnastics, it's funny how those hits and misses can kind of build on each other, and that's where you need that veteran to get up there and go, all right, no more, let's get this thing on track. And it's just a cascade of falls, unfortunately, for Georgia on beam. Now, she got a 10-0 last week. She joined the 10-0 club, her first one in her career, senior Nia Reed. Alyssa Bauman, a 9.875. Still looking for their first 9-9 here in floor exercise.
Now we know Nia talks to herself in her routine. She slowed it down last week to control the landing, and she did it just right for that double layout today. Perfect control on that landing. Second pass for Nia. Front handspring, front lay, front 1.5.
See Jeremy Miranda in the background. He is their choreographer, in charge of their music and choreography for their routines, and his 15th season with Florida, doing an outstanding job.
Last tumbling pass for Naya. Closing it out with a big double pike.
And a wink. I don't know, Alicia, it looked as good as it did last week, and they gave her a 10 a week ago. What a performance.
I love her tumbling. She's such a dynamic tumbler, gets so much height, and she has that control. A beautiful double layout to open up her floor routine. And then that double pike. Now, I don't think they're gonna give her the 10. Just because of how she landed the double pike. It's not a big deal, but it'll be small miniature deductions I think the judges will take.
We shall see. And now the other Bauman sister, Rachel Bauman, mounts the beam again, trying to finish on a positive note in what has otherwise been a very tough rotation for Georgia. Nia Reed does not get the 10, 9.95.
Unfortunate fall for Rachel Bauman. Manages to stay on the beam, but unfortunately she does miss her foot in that layup step out, and it still counts as a fall. Full turn. Beat jump to switch side. Rachel getting ready for her beam dismount. Round off 1.5. Nails that landing. Finished the routine strong after having a mistake in her acro series. Was not giving up a step on that dismount. Dad cheering her on.
Yeah, parents showing love no matter what. You gotta love that. Now the last gymnast to go for Florida on the floor exercise, Hallie Taylor from Tampa, Florida, from LaFleur's Gymnastics. A name I know well, competed for my dad, Jeff LaFleur, up at the University of Minnesota years ago. Hallie Taylor in for Ellie Lazari, who I had mentioned earlier was injured during the warm-ups.
Opens up with a double tuck, a short landing.
And that is unfortunate. Not sure if it was on the takeoff or the landing, but you hate to see this.
We just pray for the best. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Her teammates are there consoling her, providing her comfort. Jenny Rowland.
You can see Trinity Thomas and Nia Reed, two of the real leaders, a heartbeat of this team, as Jenny Rowland describes them, the first two athletes over there to check on their teammate. And that is absolutely not how you want to finish a rotation. Our thoughts go out to Hallie Taylor and the Gators. We hope that she is okay. Jenny Rowland rallies her team, the Florida Gators. They have one more rotation to get through. Got to stay focused. We're going to talk about news and notes when we come back after the break. Through 3 rotations, Florida Gators have a commanding lead over the host Georgia Gym Dogs after that very tough rotation for Georgia on balance beam. It's a 3-point lead now, as Florida will go to the balance beam and Georgia will go to the floor exercise. Around the SEC storylines, After last week, 7 teams returned to the top 15 in the SEC. It is the epicenter of women's gymnastics. Look at that. It is incredible. Florida, they rally back in the 4th rotation to beat Alabama on their home turf. They needed some 10s to do it. They got them. Meanwhile, Auburn puts up their 2nd highest road score in their history to beat Arkansas on their turf. Suni Lee for the Tigers coming on strong here in their 3rd meet. Some of the individual awards, Alicia.
SEC Gymnast of the Week goes to Kentucky's Raina Worley in sweeping Kentucky's season opener with all victories, all events, and the all-around. SEC Specialist of the Week goes to Florida's own Trinity Thomas, put up 2 10.0s last week versus Alabama Crimson Tide. And we have co-freshman of the week, Auburn's Sophia Groth and Florida's Leanne Wong, both having fantastic debuts as freshmen.
Correction, that was Auburn's 2nd meet of the year. They put up that big number. But right after this, man, it's going to be a great one. Number 9, Kentucky. Number 10, Alabama. Alabama, they finally get to go home. Man, they've had some tough matchups early in this season, and it's not going to get a whole lot easier against the number 9 Kentucky Wildcats in Coleman Coliseum. Alex Perlman, Sam Pescick will be on that call. And if Alabama's going to get it done, they're going to lean heavily on Luisa Blanco, one of the best all-arounders in the country, and NCAA and SEC champion on the balance beam. Once again, the score here after 3 rotations, Florida with a commanding 3-point lead over the Georgia Gym Dogs. Florida Gators and Sloan Blakely, one of their star freshmen, they will be moving to the balance beam. Meanwhile, Soraya Hawthorne, she's called the showstopper. Can she get things going for the Georgia Gym Dogs on floor? On Roethlisberger, Alicia Quinn through 3 rotations. Started off close, 0.25 of a lead for Florida after 1. It extended to 4/10 after the 2nd rotation, after a Nia Reed 9.95 on vault. And then in the 3rd rotation, Florida extends it to a 3-point lead. And Nia Reed puts up another big score in that event, 9.95. But the story really was Georgia's balance beam in that 3rd rotation. Only 1 athlete hit out of the 6. Alicia, you and I were talking about that. That's something we don't really ever see. Unfortunate for Georgia. Hopefully they can get it right on floor exercise. Now Megan Skaggs, 6-time All-American. She leads things off for Florida. Man, talk about a roster that they have when they can lead off with someone with the pedigree of a Megan Skaggs, the super senior.
You know, it's strategic to put somebody with a pedigree like Megan in the leadoff spot. You want someone you can count on that you know can hit in a pressure situation. Now, this isn't a postseason meet, but it is a good stepping stone to what that would be. And if you can have that one consistent person, that's really important for a team or a beam lineup dynamic.
Megan is the only all-arounder competing for these 2 teams tonight.
Beautiful acro series of back handspring layout step out. Front aerial, just a small balance check. She was probably going to connect something there, then decided against it, which is probably smart. Take a smaller deduction for just the single skull, then doing the connection and potentially falling. Beautiful switch side. Aerial, back full. Beautiful routine for Megan Skaggs. A good, clean start-off routine for the Gators. Back handspring layout, step out. Square on the beam, and then finish the routine strong with the aerial back full.
Megan Skaggs got into that all-around, unfortunately, because of Ellie Lazari's injury. She was not originally supposed to do balance beam, but jumped in and did quite well in that leadoff spot. Now Alyssa Perez-Lagones, the senior from Duluth, Georgia. Georgia Gymnastics Academy native, leads things off for Georgia. The team competition is not within reach for the Georgia Gym Dogs, but what you hope, if you're a Gator fan or you're part of that squad, is you want to finish on a great note, put up a great floor score here and have something to build on going into next week.
Opens up with a big double pike. Alyssa is one of Georgia's best performers on the floor exercise. So much personality, great tumbling. Her showmanship is fantastic. Round off half to front full. Switch side straddle full. Alyssa's last pass. Double tuck. And she nails it.
There you go, Georgia.
That is exactly how you turn the page after not the best event to go to floor and put up a routine like this. Alyssa's last pass does that double tuck and lands with strong legs, and she's thrilled about it.
Now freshman Sloane Blakely mounts the beam. Megan Skaggs a 9.875 in the leadoff spot.
Front aerial back handspring. Switch leap, switch half. Sloane does break the connection there. Side summy, rock solid on that landing.
There's been a lot of buzz about this Florida freshman class. So many Olympians and former elite gymnasts, but one thing Jenny Rowland says as Sloane finishes her routine is that it is the most low maintenance, ego-less class that she could ever imagine. They are just team players right from the get-go, which can make all the difference when you're trying to win a national championship.
Sloane doing a beautiful side summy in her dismount, which she sticks and makes sure she holds it just long enough so the judges can see that she wasn't moving those feet.
Alyssa Perez-Lagones, a 9.85 in the leadoff spot. Just a quarter of a tenth shy of her career high now, Michaela McGee.
Michaela's first tumbling pass. Full twisting double pike.
Beautiful.
Beautiful switch half straddle full. Second pass, round up 1.5, front layout. Last pass for Michaela. Double pike. Little bit soft on that landing, but when you do end with a double flip, you actually get some bonus points. It's a new rule that just got put into place this year. That connection pass. And Michaela finished that routine with a well-controlled double salto.
Back-to-back hits to start off the floor rotation for Georgia, just what they needed. Now Alyssa Bauman follows Sloane Blakely's 9.675. Alyssa started the season off on this event with a 9.925 in their opener. Certainly capable of big numbers here.
Back handspring layout. Solid on that landing. Switch leap split jump. Hitting that 180 degrees. Nice aerial. Unfortunate fall in a switch half. Very difficult jump to do. She just didn't get her hips and feet around to land on the beam properly.
Unfortunately, the beam gets the better of both of the Bauman sisters here tonight.
Round off 1.5 dismount. Not exactly the routine Alyssa was looking for. But this was a highlight of that beam routine. A beautiful acro series.
So Florida, with their first major break of the competition, Sloan Blakely's 9.675. Now they will have to count that score. That is a relatively low score for a team like Florida to count. We'll see what their last three gymnasts can do. Now, Megan Roberts follows Michaela McGee's 9.775.
Teammates cheering for her as she starts her first pass. Front tuck step out to double tuck. Switch side straddle full, wolf full. Combining those three dance elements to build some bonus points to get to her 10.0 start value. Megan getting ready for her next tumbling pass. Double pike, nails it. Not all floor teams will have 3 tumbling passes. If you hit your requirements and have a 10.0 start value with 2 passes, that's A-okay. And that's what you saw with Megan Roberts' routine. She finished it strong with that beautiful double pike.
Now freshman Leanne Wong, the 4th gymnast to go. Alyssa Bauman, a 9.075. 3 gymnasts to go for Florida. They will want to drop that 9.075. If they can hit 3 more, they will do just that. Leanne Wong, an interesting story, just competed at the World Championships this last fall where she won the silver medal in the all-around. Reported back to Florida less than a week after winning that silver medal. She'd been virtual schooling through the World Championships and leading up to the World Championships, and now here she is right into the college season. What a schedule.
Safe to say her preseason was a little bit packed and difficult, but she's handling it like a pro. The transition from elite to college, it is different, and there is a learning curve to it. But Leanne looks like she's handling it just fine. To this point, this beam routine has been pretty nice. Had a small balance check after one of her skills. Rock solid side semi. Beautiful, double full dismount, try to stick it. Unfortunately, she did drop her chest on that landing, but she was fighting for that. A nice close look of what you're working with on your Acker series of a back handspring layout step out. That double full, fighting it, squeezing her feet to try to not move on the mat.
Love the fight there at the end. Megan Roberts put up a 9.85. Now Rachel Lucas in the 4th spot. Rachel in 2020 did all around for the Georgia Gym Dogs 8 times. Now she's primarily focused on floor and vault.
Rachel opens up with a big double pike. Second tumbling pass, round off 1.5 front layout. Switch side roll full. Last tumbling pass. Double tuck. Great control on all of her landings from Rachel Lucas. Floor exercise is typically the event you'd be struggling with the most when you haven't been in the gym because of endurance, and this Georgia Gym Dog squad has been looking pretty good. The round off to 1.5 layout connection. Nice control, good form. Closed out the routine with that double tuck.
They look like they're competing angry. That beam rotation just lit a fire under them a little bit, and the senior Rachel Lucas, you can see the yell at the end of that floor routine, trying to rally her team. Trinity Thomas, the 5th gymnast to go. She completed the gym slam, and that's a 10-0 on every event last week. You can see her this is where she got her first 10 on each of those events, completing it last Sunday versus Alabama with that 10-0 on vault.
One arm back handspring layout step out, just effortless. Beautiful front aerial beat jump to back handspring swing down.
Rachel Lucas a 9.85 for her floor routine, 4 season high scores in a row for Georgia.
Aerial back full. Great routine for Trinity Thomas. She is just so poised and really handles pressure so well.
You know, here's the funny part about that. That routine was perfect. It was exquisite. And she hopped a little bit on her landing, and most gymnasts would be just thrilled. You can see Trinity, she's happy, but she knows, I let one get away with that little bit of a hop. That could be the difference between a 10 and a 9.95. We shall see. Now Rachel Bauman trying to keep things rolling here for Georgia on floor exercise. They have 2 gymnasts left.
Rachel opening up with the wolf turn. I'm not sure how many of you guys leisurely try to do a wolf turn. They're not easy.
I haven't leisurely tried one lately. Maybe I should.
I tried last week in my living room. Didn't end well. First tumbling pass for Rachel. Round off 1.5. Front full. Switch side straddle. Really big jumps and leaps from both Bauman sisters. They're both very flexible, talented gymnasts, which I love that the combination of flexibility and power really makes for a fantastic gymnast.
Trinity Thomas, 9.95 Flirts with that 10, not quite.
Double pike, absolutely solid on that landing. They may have had a rough beam rotation, but they are making up for it on the floor exercise.
Bauman parents love it. Another look.
Close out the routine with a beautiful double pike. And she knew it. That smile is everything.
As disappointed as Courtney Capets-Carter had to be with balance beam, she's got to love the resilience of her team. They came back to floor exercise, and so far through 5 routines have been lights out. Now the final gymnast to go for Florida on balance beam is senior Leah Clapper. Opened her season on this event with a 9.95, went 9.775 last week.
That handspring layout. Just a small balance check on that second skill.
Florida has won the meet, but you can see some craziness in the background, and that craziness is Rachel Bauman's 10.0.
Hats off to Leah Clapper, because she's smiling as this crowd's getting loud and trying to keep her composure on balance beam.
Looks like she had to rewind this dismount pass here. Or leap series, rather.
Aerial back full. Finishes the routine strong, does have that repeat of the switch leap split jump, which the judges will give her a deduction for.
This is the first in her career on floor exercise, 10.0, Rachel Bauman.
Absolutely fantastic floor routine. Her dance, tumbling, everything was great. And after a rough beam routine, to come back and get a 10 on floor exercise, there's probably no better feeling for her right now.
I bet mom's not covering her eyes anymore. That was exciting. Now Soraya Hawthorne has to go after that. What a rebound for Georgia after that beam rotation. Hats off to them. This has been an outstanding floor team tonight.
Nice double pike for Soraya on the first tumbling pass. Her choreography just makes me want to dance.
Courtney Capets-Carter calls her the showstopper, and you can see why.
Nice torche split half with split full. Last tumbling pass. Front layout. Front 1.5 split jump. Great routine. I'll be interested to see what the judges are going to do, because that was dynamic. The artistry was great. The connection pass, which Soraya finished the floor routine on. Just nice and tight, great form in the air.
The home team, you know what they want. They want back-to-back 10s. Florida did it on floor exercise last week to get the job done against Alabama. This certainly, obviously, is not going to win the meet for them, but what a way to finish for Georgia. Leah Clapper score 9.75 on balance beam. That score will count. Alyssa Bauman's 9.075 will be the score that they will drop. We're going to wrap this up. Take a deep breath. We'll be right back to give you the final scores when we return. Welcome back to Stegman Coliseum. the Bauman sisters, Rachel and Alyssa, with hugs after the competition. It's got to be an emotional journey for them, competing for rival schools and growing up doing the sport of gymnastics together. And Florida gets the win, but Rachel gets the 10.0 on floor exercise. You can see 2.5-point win for the Florida Gators. Florida's won 11 of the last 13 dual meets with this team. We just mentioned the Rachel Bauman 10.0 and Megan Skaggs. She gets the all-around. She was the only all-around competitor, but that is a win for her, the second consecutive this season. Man, this Florida team, they're stacked. They're going to be fun to watch once they hit peak performance, Alicia. What do you think?
They had a okay meet tonight. Obviously, there are places they can improve, and I think both of these teams are looking to get some more practice under their belt, gain more confidence, and really try to focus on the postseason, but just taking it one by one each day.
Jenny Rowland giving Trinity Thomas a hug. Jenny talks about just making sure you're peaking at the right time. She's going to pace her team. Courtney Capetz has got to be pumped with that rebound from her team. Coming up next, number 9 Kentucky at Alabama. Alex Perlman, Sam Peshek will have the call. Do not go away because that will be a good one. Florida gets the win here for Alicia Sacramone. Quinn, I am John Roethlisberger. So long from Athens. We'll see you next time.